All right, we'll start now. Looks like it's almost time. We'll start now. All right, good evening, everyone. So welcome to, what promises to be an electrifying session on circular economy in automobility. Well, it's largely a broad topic on sustainability that we'll be discussing today. A topic, that's not just about cars, but about driving change for a better and more sustainable future, right? I am Naman Kothari, your host for the evening, and I'm really thrilled to be steering this conversation with you all. Now, let's, take a moment to think about the typical life of a car. Yes, we think about ourselves all the time. Now, today, let's think about the life of a car. It's born in a factory, lives a life on the road, and then, well, let's just say it ends up in a retirement home for cars, a scrapyard, right? But what if I tell you there's a way for that car to live multiple lives, right? I'll repeat. There is actually a way to, for a car to live multiple lives. And no, I am not talking about Ajay Devgan's Tarzan the Wonder car. Also, this isn't the plot twist in a Pixar movie. It's the magic of circular economy. In a circular economy, we are not just recycling tires into garden swings. We are actually talking about redesigning the entire life cycle of a vehicle. Imagine a world where cars are built to be reborn, Punarjanam, right, as they say it, where materials are endlessly reused, and where waste, is a word we have all but forgotten. Sounds like a science fiction, right? Well, it's not. It's a road we are heading to, down and fast. And speaking of speed, here's a quick fun fact, or I would say quick interesting fact. So, did you know that transitioning to a circular economy in the automotive sector could actually reduce material costs by up to 70%? Well, I have the particular research backing this data. And that's like, getting a luxury car at a price of a hatchback. And simply put, it's like getting newly launched 5-door Thar Rocks at the price of an Alto. Imagine. But enough about facts. Let's talk about you, our fabulous audience. Whether you are an automotive engineer, a sustainability guru, a policymaker, or an investor, you are here because you care about the future of mobility and our planet. And let's face it, you didn't just log in to listen to me or to some of the startups, but you are here to be inspired, to engage, or maybe even to debate, right? So let's make this session interactive. Let's keep it lively and let's have some fun along the way. And that's very important. We're a big advocate of having fun along with work, right? So let me also introduce you to something equally thrilling. I personally loved it. It's called the Open Innovator platform. Now I know what you must be thinking right now. Oh, great, another platform, right? But hold on, sit tight. This isn't just a platform. Think of it as the ultimate playground for industries, enterprises, where you are not just watching the game from the sideline, you are right in the game, co-creating cutting-edge solutions and leading the charge. And if you really like, if you're eager to rub shoulders with the top tech talents, top tech cutting-edge solution providers, also if you're interested to get features in some of our podcasts or even host these exclusive knowledge sessions like these, exciting of course, then you have found your tribe. Join our thriving community and let's not just drive change, let's hit the gas and take the industry on a wild, innovative ride. All right, so moving on. Now today's session, I'll give you a little context quickly in the interest of time. So today's session is packed with insights and innovation, right? First up, we'll have an enlightening discussion on the exciting world of circular economy, sustainability, and its potential to reshape the automotive industry. We'll discuss ways how to approach this, revolutionize the way we think about vehicles. We'll also discuss how we can move beyond traditional thinking and embrace innovative ideas. And that's not all. after the discussion, we have a startup pitching session lined up. That's a guaranteed showstopper. Think of it as a Grand Prix of innovation where startups race to present their groundbreaking solutions. And trust me, the stakes are high, pretty high, the competition is fierce, and the innovation absolutely mind-blowing. These industry leaders and these startups aren't just talking the talk, they are driving the change that we all want to see. So buckle up, stay engaged, and let's drive the conversation forward. So to kick things off, let's rev our engines, dive into the first segment discussing the circular economy in automobility. Please join me in welcoming our first speaker. We have Vivek Datt, CEO and AVP of Third Eye, a JBM Group company. He's a good friend. He works very closely with us on different innovative use cases. Vivek, can we have you on the screen, please? We also have, next up, we have Vasu. He was one of the first speakers who have joined us today. Vasu is a Senior Director, Enterprise Digital IT Service, Ford Motors. Welcome, Vasu. Welcome to the Open Innovator platform. We also have Srikanta Patra, who heads the startup strategy at Toyota Tusho India, which is, by the way, an interesting arm of Toyota who works very closely with the startups. We also have Jasmer Singh, again from Toyota Tusho India. Welcome, Jasmer. We have Uday Prabhu, who's a Vice President at Bosch. All right. Welcome, Uday. Next up, we have got Navratan Kataria, a man who seems to have more heads than a magician at a kid's party. He's a center director, tech expert, and all-round wizard at NASSCOM Center of Excellence, right? Welcome. Do we have Navratan Kataria on the screen, please? All right, we have him here, right? All right. So can we get our awesome speakers and jury on the screen? We have almost everyone. Now, just a quick heads up. This isn't just a typical buttoned up discussion. Think of this as a more of a tech playground where we'll be bounced around fresh ideas, toss out some bold discussions, bold suggestions, and maybe even have a friendly debate or two. We all are tech enthusiasts here, so let's treat this as a casual, candid chat between people who just can't get enough of innovation. And on that note, who better to kick off things than the master himself? Let's welcome Sanjeev Malhotra, CEO of NASSCOM Center of Excellence, to get the ball rolling. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Navan. You have jump-started the whole discussion on a pretty high voltage, I would say. Let's see if we can maintain that rhythm, and I think it's up to us. He's thrown a challenge to us by raising the bar right up front. So welcome everyone. As Naman talked about, there is so much on this topic. And if I look into my world where I sit and deal with newer ideas and new startups and newer solutions, I think sustainability, circular economy is the only topic which can challenge the discussion, which is pretty much, I think, taking up all the innovation space on the AI. AI is the topic which I think is dominating the discussion wherever you go and whichever part of the world you go to. But I think this sustainability and circular economy are the two areas, is one area I would say, which I would say goes head on head when it comes to how important it is and how much that also is part of the boardroom discussions. And I think for that, I think we'll go right into the views from our esteemed guests who have joined us. So who do we start with? Uday, do we start with you? Give us a view on the world of Bosch and how much is that dominating the discussion inside? I think that's what you just want to get a general view of from everyone in their world, how much they hear and what are the things that they see happening. Uday.
Thanks, Sanjeev. I think you rightly put the electrifying start, right? And we having to play catch up now. So I think he brought up a very nice topic about rebirth, right? Very nicely put, organ donation and all that stuff. I think people who live in Bangalore will know there's a place called JC Road, right? Where the organ recycling and the circularity topic has been going on for decades, right? You can actually put together a vehicle on the side roads of JC Road. They'll take a engine from a truck, a chassis from somewhere else, and you can actually put together a vehicle. But that is the shadow economy and not the formal economy. But what we are trying to do is do this at scale now, right? Make the whole world think like those guys. Don't leave any scrap unattended. We have this concept in Bosch where earlier it used to be the cradle to grave economy, and now we have a cradle to cradle economy, right? How do we keep things in motion, right? How do we not do a one-way street where vehicles go one way and die on the other end? But how do it, you keep circling around? Uh, so these are the concepts we want to achieve. But the main drivers are fundamentally that things are running out in this world, right? I think if you look at the statistics, we used to mine around 4 minerals in 1990s or early 1800s. And in 1900s, around 10 minerals, and I think now we are mining close to around 100 minerals, right? So people are finding innovation is doing such a great thing, but it is also taxing the environment, right? And so there is a need also to reduce the amount of consumption that is out there. And circularity is not just about the vehicle itself, it's also about how do we change things at multiple different levels. Can I look at circularity in my design, right? How can I make sure that the number of parts that I use are recyclable? Can I look at product extensions? Can I look at recovery, we just talked about? Can we look at sharing platforms, right? One guy buys a vehicle that takes care of 100 people's transportation. Can we not sell products anymore? Can we offer products as a service, right? So those so many thought processes are emerging, and it's not just about the circularity of materials. It's all about looking at the entire value stream of automotive development, right? And I think that is what we should look at. Circularity is a thought process that should cover the complete value chain of engineering an automobile, and not just replicate the JC Roads organ replacement business model. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Uday. Let's go and hear from a view from Gurgaon and a powerhouse JBM that Vivek Datt represents.
Vivek, hi Sanjeev. Hi everyone.
Hi, good.
Yeah, I'm Sanjeev. I'm driving right now. I'm taking the call from my car.
All right.
So if you very quickly. So I think firstly, thank you for having me on this panel, Sanjeev and everyone, and hello to everyone. So I think we talk about circular economy, right? Which if you see targets two areas, right? Zero waste and zero pollution. What I think Uday just briefly mentioned about, right? Where we are targeting the entire material life cycle, all the way from the environment extraction, right? You're talking about minerals today, to the whole industrialization process, which is the manufacturing, and all the way to the consumer use. And even we are looking at prolonging the use of the products to the extent possible, right? And then towards the end of the cycle, how do we send it back for recovery, either recycle it or or send it for regeneration if it's an organic something that we treated and send back to the environment. But I think in this whole process, I think what we also probably have to look at the potential barriers and the issues that we have to encounter, right? Which are around financial, regulatory, and some kind of technological barriers. Because uh, if you see, the core objective of any organization is profitability, right? At the same time, there are pressures, regulatory pressures, legislative pressures, to achieve zero emission targets, and to reduce the CO2 emissions, which needs investments, right? And at the same time, there are financial issues around the investments that you make. How do you get your buck back for the money that you invested, right? And this is where the technology comes into play, or even for that matter, the kind of industry 3.0 technology that we all use in our automotive factories. How do we draw data out of these you know manufacturing setups, which carries a huge amount of intelligence and information that we can draw value out of, and add to this whole initiative of circular economy, right? So I think technology here plays a very, very critical role in enabling and driving this transition from the linear economy to the circular economy, right? So I think that's one of the areas, because I come from a technology background. I Sorry, I forgot to mention that I'm not a core automotive person, but we do very closely work with the automotive organizations. Being industry 4.0 solutions provider, we actually help build smart factories for the automotive companies. Uh, and by the way, we're also part of the JBM Group, which is an automotive component supplier, as most of you would know. And one of the mandate was to drive these smart factories for them. So I think this is one of the areas that we are focusing on. How can we use technology to address some of these challenges? At the same time, I think if you look at the other side of the things, we also have our economic targets and our environmental targets, and the social parameters that we have to address. For example, we talk about economic parameters. It's how do we reduce our manufacturing cost, machining performance, how do we improve that, or how do we improve our production efficiency, or how do we improve our process and things like that. On the environment side, how do we reduce our water consumption, energy consumption? So I think all of this needs the right data, and draw actionable insights from this data to drive these objectives for an organization, which very, very strongly contributes to this transition from linear economy to circular economy. So in the interest of time, I'll take a pause, and we can discuss more on this topic if you want.
Thank you, Vivek. So from Gurgaon, let's go to the Detroit powerhouse, Vasu, that you represent. So that's what's the discussion inside Ford? How are things being viewed there?
Fantastic. Hey, good evening, all. A pleasure to be part of this event. Am I audible?
Yes.
Super. A big thanks to NASSCOM, Open Innovator, and KTech for organizing this. When I was contacted, I was really, surprised as well as excited to be part of this huddle. I work in Ford as a Senior Director for Enterprise Digital IT Services, and I also lead innovation in Ford in India. So that's why actually it motivated me to join this event for, looking at the ideas that are going to be shared later. I started my career in Indian Air Force for 6 years before joining Ford. And in Ford, I spent my time in manufacturing, customer service, and then now in information technology domain. So circular economy, while there are multiple definitions for circular economy, some small, some detailed one, the easy way for me to understand, it's an economic model of production and consumption that maximizes the value out of any product or service. That's the way how I, mentally understand this. And this economic model, as suggested, right, it's gaining a lot of understanding and adoption as our consciousness about the limited resources that are there in the planet keeps growing. So as our consciousness keeps growing, then the more and more R&D is flowing into making the economy circular. And if you look at any product, right, any mass market product, that's the most complex one. I'm not talking about aircrafts or space, right? If you take a consumer durable, that's the most complex. It's definitely an automobile. there are multiple strategies to maximize value of a product or a service, as I mentioned in the definition. In my head, I remember them as 3R and SL. 3R standing for repair, refurbish, and recycle or reuse, and SL standing for sharing and leasing. So if I take just each one of them and give a small brief of what's that happening in automotive space, my colleagues here also would recognize that. Repair, right? In automotive industry, we call it design for serviceability. So at the design stage itself, we need to keep the serviceability of that particular part in mind and then design it. So that's what we call it as, design for serviceability. Refurbish, in our industry, we call that as reman. Reman is nothing but remanufactured parts. So a complex part, right? If you look at a complex part's life cycle, there might be a very small, a bearing or a bushing or a washer there that might actually have a wear and tear. The rest of the components would be fully serviceable. So what we do is we actually send them to the supplier and then get those parts which are worn out alone changed, and then actually provide for warranty to it, and then sell it at a fraction of a cost. So it's win-win for everyone, right? And also for the environment. So repair, refurbish, then recycle or reuse. Currently, a lot of research is actually occurring in the battery recycle engineering, as now battery contribute to around 40 to 50% of the cost. It might come down 30 to 40% in a year or so, but still a huge component of the EV is actually battery. So there is so much amount of research we are doing on how do we recycle and reuse the batteries. And sharing and leasing, I think I don't need to explain to anyone because we all use ride sharing and ride hailing services. And the vehicle I use is a leased vehicle. So sharing and leasing, I don't need to talk much about. So 3R SL is the way how I keep a view of a circular economy in my headspace. I'm really looking forward for discussion, and if there are any questions later on a Q&A, I would happy to share my thoughts. Thank you.
Wonderful. No, thank you so much. Design for serviceability. Wonderful. So I think before we'll just cover one speaker now, and then we'll go to a startup from there, and then I'll come back to other speaker. But let's take a quick trip to Tokyo. Hear from Jasmer. Will you go first, or Srikanta? I'll come to you after that. Probably once we hear a startup, we'll hear some of the views on the investment side from you. But so Jasmer, maybe a quick one from you before we go to a startup.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And I think the points has been covered the most of, and thank you very much. So I would like to just add, because when we are talking about the designing or the sustainability, so like the refurbishing could be one of the area where we can think from two ways. One, whatever the existing is there, for what we are looking for a recycling solution. So where I believe this not only the tech giants, but this startups also going to play a great role, so that how best we can recycle and the best product we could get out of them. Not only like just recycling and use for some other alternates. So instead of how to use the same material for the similar kind of the part. And another one is the whatever the new parts we are thinking. So how to enhance the durability, so they further can be used for the longer time, and after a certain period or end of life the vehicle, still they must sustain after a bit refurbishing, because now there's a concept, a lot of phones are coming with the refurbishing. So how we can implement such kind of the concept in the automotive also. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So what we do is, I have a few other people, Aditya, Navratan, Srikanta. We also are joined by Bijoy from Volkswagen. So a lot of good thoughts here to be heard. But before that, let's go and hear one of the solutions from our startup. So Naman, which is the first.
Right. So this was an exciting discussion, and what a extremely well placed panel we have. So just to top things up, we have Abhishek Mishra, the founder of BatX. Well, so it's a pretty cool name, BatX Energies. Abhishek, can we have you on the screen, please?
Yes, good evening, Naman and team. Hope my voice is audible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. We can hear you, but can't see you.
Actually, some network issue. That's why I switched off my
No
video.
worries. No worries. So you may share your screen. You have all the access.
Yes.
Guide us through
Yes.
your innovation, the impact that you have created or are creating, some of the use cases, and then we open up for question. So you have 8 minutes, and then we'll start our question and answer session.
Okay. Yes, I think my slide is visible to all.
Right, we can see it.
Yeah. So again, good evening to all. I am Abhishek. Basically, I am the part of BatX Energies. I have a 15-year experience with the automotive companies, and currently I am heading BatX Energies as a GM operations. Before that, I was the part of CK Birla Group, Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, and Thyssenkrupp. So currently, if I'm talking about the BatX Energies scope, like what we do, basically our scope is battery recycling and metal extraction. So as of now, we are producing battery grade materials. Basically, we recycle lithium ion batteries. So we produce battery grade materials, that is black mass, by recycling end of life batteries to create a sustainable energy resources. So we are here to strengthen the circular economy, as we know that like we are running in two ages. One is digital age and second is clean waste. So the more digitization and the more e-waste. So in India, we are the largest black mass producer. Basically, the black mass is what, like it is the finished goods of scrap mobile batteries. So basically, they have a rare earth materials like lithium, cobalt, nickel, manganese, and all. Like cobalt is varies from 16 to 27%. So as of now, we have recycled approx 220 million batteries, and we have an in-house proprietary for to produce all the rare earth material with less than 1% impurities. So we have basically currently we have a 4 units.
Abhishek, just quickly, just to add, Abhishek, sorry, just to add, are you changing these slides by any chance? Because we are still on the first slide.
Yes, I have. Actually, I am.
So in the interest of time, you need to quickly talk about the solution and write the problem statement because you just have 7 minutes now. Okay.
Yes. So this is our majorly scope of BatX Energies. Basically, we are in like battery recycling and this metal extraction. So this is our process flow chart from like battery collection and second life battery and black mass, and fourth one is refining. So for us, circular economy is not like 3 years reuse and refine, but we also think about the refurbish, remanufacture, repair, repurpose, recover, and recycling. So we have a capacity of 15,000 metric ton per year for the battery recycling plant. So our plant is having a capacity to process all the lithium ion batteries like LCO, that is your mobile batteries, NMC and LFP. And we have also second life battery setup where we have a facility of 500 megawatt second life battery testing and repackaging facilities in 2000 square area in the Sikandrabad Bulandshahr area. So why we have started, basically we have two founders, one is Vikrant Singh and second is Utkarsh Singh. Basically they are the pioneer for the BatX Energies. They have started to work out on lithium ion batteries because in coming time there is a huge market of EV. Like currently there is a projection of $3.2 billion to $113.269 up to 2030. So there is a huge scope of lithium ion batteries in current market. And again, this lithium ion batteries is having all rare earth materials like lithium ion, which we extract from the extensive mining. And this extensive mining, again, it creates a socio-economic problem. So at this stage, we are able to extract all the materials from our lithium-ion batteries in form of sulfate and carbonate. Like every black mass is having lithium, cobalt, nickel. So lithium for our one unit, black mass is our finished good, and for the next unit, it is the raw material where we do metal extraction of all the rare earth metal. So we got this lithium in form of sulfate and carbonate, that is Li2CO3. So this is our hub and spoke model. Like in currently there is no battery manufacturers in India. So how we work, like we have a 4 units of recycling units, and how we are categorizing all the requirements for the battery manufacturing, and how we collect the batteries, and how we distribute our all the scrap batteries to different our recycling units. So we work as a spoke. So this is 3 photo like nickel sulfate, cobalt sulfate, and manganese sulfate. This is our picture of metal extraction plant. So this is just a glimpse of our black mass production units. So we have started in 2020 in Sikandrabad. So first all 2 units, as I said, in Sikandrabad, and third unit is in our Modinagar. We have a capacity of 5,000 metric ton per year. We have recycled 220 million battery as of now, and our four unit is in again in Modinagar. So we are also working on refurbish of batteries. So we have a complete solution for the battery management solution. So once we get batteries from currently like 80, we are getting 80% from unorganized and 20% from organized. This is our this is challenges for us, but as there is a huge scope of EV batteries, this ratio will convert, like this will be 80% from once the EV market will boom, 80% will be from organized sector and 20 is from unorganized. So for us, it is very challenging us to interact with the unorganized sector like Kabadiwala, where we are getting our mobile scrap batteries and NMC. So for us to mitigate the compliance issue, and the main issue is like there is a huge scope of innovation in our sourcing efficiency, material handling, and fire mitigation, because every battery is having they are inflammable in nature because of their lithium phosphate nature. So it is
last 2 minutes, Abhishek. Last 2 minutes. Just a reminder. So if you have something important to cover, you may use these 2 minutes to talk about it.
Okay. So this is our second life. Like recently, we have also merged up with the MG Motors for the charging stations. And this is one picture of our because we are also working on energy storage devices. This is our chemical unit. This is just a process flow, how we are getting a dismantling and discharging, and how we are extracting all the rare earth materials. So second, this we are going to kick off this 1,20,000 square feet mass processing facility in coming 2 to 3 months. This is we are also in coming time. We are also working on the graphite recycling. So this is like same structure before leaching and after leaching. This is more related with, and the most unique point of BatX is what we are like recovering material. It is 99.5% pure. So this is related with how we are strengthening the circular economy by reducing 97% reduced water users. So this is just a glimpse of how government is supporting to us in form of battery waste management rule 2022. So you can see in coming 1 and 2, 3 years there will be a like mandatory requirement of recovery targets. Like in 2024 it is 70, in 2025 again 10% hike, that is 80 and 90. And we have also collaboration with the BML and the ministry. Currently, we also got 6 CR grant from the MHI for the lithium carbonate extraction. We have also tied up with the IIT Delhi, and we have also 10 plus patents as of now, and approx 90 plus are in under discussion, under finalization stage. So this is overall future plan, like how we are in coming 5 years we will work on pre-cam materials. So this is our presence across the world. We are, as I said, we are the largest black mass exporter in India. So we are sending our materials in across the world.
Right,
So
right,
thank
right.
you. Thanks from my side.
All right, we now open up for questions before we move to our next phase of discussion. Any questions for BatX Energies? It goes by the tagline Beyond Limitation.
Yes, I have a question. So, what is your current business model?
So current we are working in a hub and spoke model.
So, how you connect with the suppliers?
So suppliers, like as I said, like currently we are 80% dependent on our organized sectors. So we connect through like different parties. We are like we are categorizing our requirement in terms of 5 ton, 20 ton. So we are connected with we are well connected with the all types of different reasons suppliers. So we get in 5 ton, 10 ton. But again, we have a very lot of compliance issue with the unorganized sector.
So, when you compare your technology with your close competitors who are from Indian startup ecosystem, how you rate yourself?
Sir, if I talk about, if I compare with my competitors, so we can rate like 4 out of 5. Why? Because we have a total in-house proprietary for producing a black mass, and we have a less than 1% impurity material what we are producing as of now, and we are the largest black mass producer. And currently we are working on net zero. There is no zero emission in my current facility, and we have all in-house machines. We are not dependent on China and other countries for any spare part or for any machine. And currently we have a recovery of more than 64%, which is a benchmark among recycling companies. And recently we are also certified with ISO 9000, ISO 14000, and ISO 45000. So it is recycling. It is all experience game. It is not like I can give a SOP and you can produce black mass. So it is all experience game, because every lot, like every raw material lot, is having a 400 plus type of batteries, and every battery is having a different chemical component. So it is very important to understand the chemical composition of any batteries. So like we have we got a batteries like this Nokia and Itel and Vivo. So everyone is having a different cobalt percent. So as per our last 4-year experience, as per our expertise, now we are able to crack and to achieve the higher cobalt percentage, because the pricing of this black mass material is totally depends on the percentage of cobalt.
So, and how you dispose your non-recyclable materials?
So non-recyclable in the sense we like for our first unit, black mass unit, we have a byproduct of copper aluminum scrap. So we are able to separate this copper aluminum from our for our byproduct. And apart from this, as per the customer volume requirement, we have also tied up with the authorized recycler who are involved in copper aluminum separation by the chemical method or electrostatic discharge method. So by the density they use to separate, so there is no any wastage from our plant.
So, my last question is, what are your current challenges?
So current challenges is our like supply chain. So currently we are facing a lot of initially before 3-4 years we were facing a lot of challenges with our suppliers, because lot of impurities. Again, if the source of variation will be more, then we cannot get a desired or uniform result. So initially there was high impurities in our raw material, but currently we have a strong system of IQC, like incoming quality control and sorting, manual sorting. And we are also going to generate one AI based sorting process, where we will define the size of the battery and chemistry. We would be able to, as of now we are doing in a manual, but we are also will be able to do sorting as per our algorithm. So this is the main challenges. And second challenge is transportation, because these batteries are in inflammable nature, so it is very hard to transport from one place to another. Even as of now, there is no any there is no any fireproof fire extinguisher to mitigate this fire from this lithium ion batteries.
All
Suppose
right,
the
Abhishek.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So, Abhishek, in the interest of time, we'll take more questions offline and we continue with our discussion.
Sure,
Over
sure,
to you.
sure, sure.
Over to you, sir.
Right,
Okay, thank
right. So thank you, Abhishek. Maybe you can take your slides off now, and let's hear from Aditya Bosch on your take on this topic.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sanjeev, and thank you very much, everybody, for having me on the conference, the panel. I'm so sorry I couldn't turn my camera on. I am also driving, just like Vivek. I had to pick up my family immediately. But I mean, on the topic, it certainly is a very exciting one for us at Bosch. Just connecting it with the overall need in terms of India being energy reliant and so on, right? It's almost like a challenge that we have to make electrification and the EV story work for us as a nation. And something that's still holding us back in terms of this is whether we've reached a critical mass in production, in costs of manufacturing, in ensuring the supply chain is intact, etc. for this electrified ecosystem, right? Just like we've been discussing batteries. I mean, have we reached a point where we are predictable in the entire ecosystem for electrified vehicles with batteries, right? And one of our hypothesis, and certainly an innovation hypothesis and a belief, is that circularity is one such answer for us to help reach a critical mass where electrification can become mainstream. The minute we talk about all the support activities like BatX has been explaining, if we can get enough good quality and some more life in these recycled, whether it's the minerals itself or to some extent the batteries and some components in them, the cells, can they be reused? Is there a way to understand their life and so on? This, I think, will go a long way, and if we can take the lead on this, go a long way in making this electrification dream come to life, right? We, however, know that it is challenging for two major reasons. Uday, for example, highlighted this in the beginning, and again it was evident in the BatX presentation as well. One is how can we safely take this unorganized economy to an organized one, to a more formalized one, and what are the methods around it? That's one challenge that we need to look at together. I mean, this group especially together. And the second one is how do we share safely enough? I mean, of course, batteries are either the IP of the car maker or the battery maker. How do we get enough insights about the battery from the design perspective that can be shared? Our OEMs, whether the car OEMs, the battery OEMs, trusting each other enough to expose data that the economy can understand and so on, right? So these are certain challenges that I think we have to still overcome. And at Bosch, there is an endeavor. I mean, we are very much inspired, let's say, by the Aadhaar, stack, if you will. Just the way that we've been able to share information to open up a whole new ecosystem on a platform like Aadhaar. Are there ways that this consortium, that this group of people that we are on call with today, can we have a trusted, mechanism to have an Aadhaar for batteries, for example, by which the car maker feels secure enough to expose that much information. The battery maker feels good enough to share enough details per battery. Colleagues like BatX can use the Aadhaar data for all their various next level afterlife preparations and so on. So I think that's really where together, if we come together, I think this is a challenge in circularity that it won't happen with a few select players because of the nature of business that we're in. I think it'll only happen when there is a massive, let's say, drive to 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 make it work.
Right.
Really take this economy
Right.
to a Aadhaar like a shareable state going forward. So that's just a few hints that I.
Thank you, Aditya. And that was different angle to this thing, and bringing people together to solve this. Thank you so much for joining while you were driving. Vijay, you're there. I mean, probably he represents the Pune, and debate is whether Pune is the Detroit of India or Chennai is the Detroit of India. Now that's I don't know if that debate has been settled or not. Uday will know more on that. But but Vijay, I will come to you. Maybe we should go to one more startup, and then Vijay, I'll come to you, and also then we'll also hear about some of the investment things after this from our friend in Toyota.
All right. So next up we have AHODS, and we have Saurabh Mohan Saxena from AHODS. Saurabh is a founder of AHODS. Saurabh, can we have you on the screen, please?
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, everybody. Namaste. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes.
Oh, great. So, to be very frank, I'm also on the road, and I will just share my slide. And I'm coming down from 12,500 feet from a place where we just finished one of our installations, and that would be what we presume is world's highest, hydrogen generation place for an application for defense. And we are also, we just did it, and I'm on the way back to Delhi. So happy to just share this moment. I just put this slide together on the way itself, and I'll just move to the next slide, which is like, of course, AHOD stands for Advanced Hydrogen on Demand Solutions, and it's a patented solution where we're using hydrogen as a fuel. And yeah, so we are a group of founders in which myself, I come from automotive industry, from having 27 years of experience from Tata, Chrysler, Hero, ZF, Delphi. Rohit also comes from finance background, similar, and Colonel Kushwaha as well as Alok coming from similar experience background. So what we are doing is we are a clean tech company, and we are doing a climate action in this hydrogen eco space, making a global impact through this naval solution. Of course, what we want to do is disrupt via innovation, and using, as we were talking about the circular economy, we are using some available material or material which can be reused to produce this kind of fuel, which is the cleanest fuel available, making a socio-economic health impact. And of course, being in this forum is mostly automotive, all advanced companies in terms of technology. We are thinking future, but trying to do it now. And maybe what I would do is, so we also won a Uber about recently. We were awarded as the national winners, and we got around 1 crore of rupees over there. What I would do is maybe share a small video, and it is just for a few minutes, so you'll have an idea.
The aircraft in Delhi turning severe, the AQI at 11 a.m. on Sunday was 457. Our missions make up nearly half of the pollution we care right now.
That we eliminate the maximum part
Your car, my car, or any car, for that matter, truck, bus, they are working and they most of what we are doing is cutting the fuel itself and augmenting it with cleanest fuel with hydrogen. We produce hydrogen on board, on demand, we use it and clean the tailpipe. When do we do it? We do it right. Yeah, of course, hydrogen is producing. So hydrogen is the holy grail which will be there in the market for next 200 years. Electricity, of course, EVs are coming, but finally by hydrogen is the most renewable and it is the most available, abundant petroleum. The atomic number of one. So hydrogen has a lot of future right now. Of course, it is evolving. We have been governed by the fossil fuel always in the mobility space. But now with these clean fuel technologies, this will change the whole paradigm of our emissions and net zero carbon. We are targeting as India in 2017. We will take it to the world. ये गाड़ी है, एक आम गाड़ी है जिसके अंदर हमने ये हाइड्रोजन ऑन डिमांड का जनरेटर लगाया. हम लोग इसको जनरेटर कहते हैं आज की भाषा में. जो बुद्धिजीवी है वो उसको इलेक्ट्रोलाइजर बोलेंगे. तो इलेक्ट्रोलाइजर से हम हाइड्रोजन प्रोड्यूस करते हैं और उसको इमीडिएटली अपने आईसी इंजन में इस्तेमाल कर लेते हैं. वी रेगुलेट दी हाइड्रोजन सो दैट जो कंबशन है वो बेस्ट होता है. हाइड्रोजन क्लीनेस्ट फ्यूल है जिसकी वजह से जो टेल पाइप एमिशंस है वो स्टैंडर्ड से भी कम हो जाते हैं.
वाहनों में महज 20% हाइड्रोजन ईंधन के प्रयोग से ही कार्बन उत्सर्जन में 80 से 85% तक की कमी आ जाती है.
Can make any vehicle a fit vehicle and a clean vehicle and a green vehicle. And of course दूसरा काम हम इसमें साथ साथ कर रहे हैं. ये जितना भी डेटा है ये हम इसको कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं थ्रू इंजन डेटा and it gets stored onto the cloud so that we know हर गाड़ी नंबर ने कितना तेल बचाया, कितना उसने एमिशन कम किया. अगर हम 10 लाख गाड़ियां कर लेते हैं जो हमारी 5 करोड़ गाड़ियां आज की डेट में पूरे हमारे देश में चल रही है, तो 10 लाख गाड़ी भी तो हम भारत सबसे आगे होगा कि हमने हाइड्रोजन का इस्तेमाल किया.
ये ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन जो है ये इसके ऊपर कार ये भविष्य में बिल्कुल इकोनॉमिकली भी बहुत सस्ता है, जो शेड से मुक्त है और हमारे देश के लिए तो जो इंपोर्ट करते हैं उनके लिए तो वरदान है. तो ये जो टेक्नोलॉजी इसमें इतने स्टार्टअप में अच्छा काम कर रहा है, मुझे खुशी है कि हम वर्ल्ड को लीड कर रहे हैं.
So this was a sneak peek into what we are doing. So again, as the topic of the day is that we reuse, so we are putting a retrofit solution, not using more of vehicles and all, using the current vehicles. We know the problems of economic losses, climate crisis, and health hazard due to pollution, and of course there are renewable energy solutions. But always the problem is the infrastructure, the complex supply chain mechanism, the transportation, distribution, and of course, if we talk on the theme of the day, it's always there's some kind of waste happening in terms of storage or transportation. And so what we are doing is, and same is the case with hydrogen, where we produce, we store, and then generally distribute as per the use case. What we are doing as a solution is cutting the storage itself, and what we are doing is what you see as a solution. Of course, this is an adjustable, light, compact solution where we make small mini electrolyzer, and we can make it big as well as small based on the use, starting from motorcycle to a bus to whatever size of engine it is. And there we cut the infrastructure problem of storage. So it is the low pressure augmentation of hydrogen into the current IC engines, and making the clean emission as well as the fuel. So it has an ROI. There was a topic that there is no ROI in terms of when we talk cradle to cradle, or in terms of sustainability. There's an ROI because you save fuel. Of course, we have been acknowledged and awarded at various places. Walmart has given us top startup, United Nations Low Carbon Program, IIT Delhi, NASCOM, Agni. We have got a IP in place already. Recently, Uber And so what we are focusing right now in three areas. One is the power backup diesel generator sets to have, because they're the big guzzlers and they make an impact on the pollution. Second is, of course, the industrial boilers, and third is the off-highway vehicles. And of course, the topic of the day is mobility. Of course, mobility, where I come from with my experience, is also the major topic which we are working on. So yes, what we do is we insert, as I told in the video, that we use this and put it in the combustion chamber through the air route into the DG sets, and of course we make the combustion better, and that's how the emission gets reduced. And of course we monitor it through sensoronics, as well as the all the data is available at the dashboard.
Quickly
Same is the
speed
case
up,
with
just
boilers.
last 60 seconds.
Yep. So for mobility, yes, we have a retrofitment kit. It is a small box which gets into the boot, and the one lying at the bottom can be used for a truck. Of course, have been used at multi places and at high altitudes, as well as large DG sets and cars shown in Auto Expo. Of course, government is moving ahead. So what we are saying is, first we reduce and then we eliminate. So fuel cell is the future, but what we do is we cut emission through usage of hydrogen into the current vehicles. So of course, application everywhere means globally, and of course awarded. You see the boot space which is available to a consumer is available with a solution. Of course, a lot of esteemed customers and collaborators coming in. Nestle, Toyota Tusho, Jasbir Khan and Srikanta is there. Indus Tower, Indian Navy, Perkins, Malt. So yes, hydrogen is a big economy coming up, and of course we are working in terms of that. We are gross margin positive, and of course, so basically financial snapshot is that we make gross margin positive, and in various sizes and usage, we are positive, looking for investment into various areas for deployment. So that's about it. Open to questions.
So we'll just take one question right now in the interest of time. So any question from Saurabh from AHODS Technologies before we move to our next segment? Or you may also put your question in the chat box that we can take offline from Saurabh. All right, so we'll continue our discussion, and then before we move to our next speaker for the day.
All right. Great. Thank you so much, Saurabh. Bijoy, still there? Wonderful. Good having you, Bijoy.
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir, after such a long time. So great talking to you.
So how are things inside Volkswagen? What's the discussion like on this topic?
Yes, I will. I'm not, let's say, the correct authority, but overall, I will explain what us as in Volkswagen are working. I think all of us within the automotive mobility industry, if we want to look at a benchmark, we are looking at the ESG, goals. So similarly, Volkswagen Group as a whole has also constantly improving our ESG ratings. We are also looking at breaking down the overall circular economy into various components. Let's take vehicle life cycle management, material recovery and recycling, remanufacturing, refurbishment, as well as topics like shared mobility solutions, waste to value innovations, and circular supply chains. So we are kind of breaking this down into small segments, and then investing related efforts in this, and thus we are also improving our ESG ratings, as I explained. So in short, this is how we are looking at it. And since Volkswagen Group is slightly distributed overall, so it becomes a complication, but we have arrived at a good solution and a formula, and that is why these forums like one organized right now is helping us to also look at what the startups are doing and how we can learn from them. So that's the context.
No, that's the purpose, that we find a way for the two to work together and overall grow the ecosystem, and probably grow the concepts and overall some new ideas to come out of this. So thank you so much for joining and your comments. So Srikanta, now the last part. What I have heard Toyota CEO say that IC engines are not going anywhere, right? So as much as we may like electric, but IC engines are here to stay. So anyway, I'm not asking you to comment on that, but more on that. Where are your investments going? Since you look into the investment part from Toyota, where do you see the trends and what are you looking at from your lens?
So yes. So global Toyota's own trading and investment arm is Toyota Shusho. So till date, Toyota Shusho has done nearly about 70 global investments, and Toyota Shusho as a conglomerate, there are 1,000 companies under us, affiliate companies and group companies. So presence is in 140 countries. So we not only work in automotive, so we are equally present in all non-automotive sectors. We are in energy, we are in food, we are in, there is a special division for our segment, which is called the Africa segment. So there is a circular economy division, there is green manufacturing division. So every division acts as in their own entity. So me and Jasmer Singh belong to the supply chain division. So where we take care of all the supply chain logistics analysis and the trading and investment in that. So when you see partnership and collaboration per se, so first of all, we scout for various problem statement, process improvement. Since the DNA of global Toyota is sustainability, so when sustainability per se, so there are different kinds of elements that acts on. And first we look for a strategic collaboration in any of the emerging startups from India side. Then we try to solve the major pain points in the startup from presenting from the ecosystem. And everything goes well, we co-create the solutions and we commercialize, we scale it, and jointly we go outside India and through our partner companies globally, Toyota Shusho business ecosystem. Then everything goes well, we go for a strategic investment in that. Secondly, there is a different operation model for our parent company, Toyota Shusho Japan. They have their own fund arrangement for throughout the world, which also will be declared in the coming months, how the fund will be useful for our Indian startups and what are the various modality of selecting the startups from that. Since all Japanese companies are interconnected, so the ecosystem flourish if any Indian startup, and Japan looks India as a growth engine. So that is a perspective of all the Japanese companies, not only Toyota, many Japanese companies. So we are all in the same ecosystem. So we talk a lot on Indian startup ecosystem, how it's emerging. So the coming days, the future is very bright for Indian startups, plus a lot of opportunities and scopes are coming from the Japan side also.
Thank you. Thank you. So Uday, we'd like to have some closing comments from you. Before that, I think we'll just see one more startup. And unless you have something to add now and before we go to our last presentation of the day.
No, I think the pictures were really impressive what you have achieved, especially BatX. No, I don't know if you want to call yourself a startup anymore. The amount of
Right.
numbers that you churned out, quite impressive. And also AHODS, really good, really interesting to see how this retrofit market is going to take off. I'm especially keen to understand the safety elements because it's a very tough topic in the hydrogen space. So that's an area we would definitely be looking to understand, and of course I'll probably reach out separately to understand that space. But awesome job. We need more such large thinking startups to come about. Try to solve at scale, right? That's very important, to solve at scale, and this is what both of you are doing. Very impressive, very impressive.
Thank you. So, Naman.
Right. So moving on, we have Adarsh from BLAER Motors. Well, we have saved the best for the last. So Adarsh, can we have you on the screen, please?
Hi, Naman. Hi, panel. Thanks for the opportunity for allowing us to present over here. Sorry for the dim lighting. Unlike everyone else who are traveling, I am sitting here in my office with the dim lighting, so my apologies for that. So let me quickly share you my presentation. Just give me a moment. So is my screen visible?
Right, we can see a fancy bike. Yes.
Yeah. So let me give you a quick introduction of our company, and let me also quickly give an introduction of myself. So I am Adarsh, co-founder of BLAER Motors, and I handle the marketing and sales of the company. So BLAER Motors is basically a startup which was started almost 9 years back. We started off with a hybrid drivetrain, hybrid vehicles. So hybrid, as in it's a combination of your ICE and your electric traction together. So as Mr. Sanjeev was mentioning, we also carry forward the same vision of what Toyota said. Like ICEs are still here to stay, and in our aim towards sustainable mobility, it's not just one simple solution that's going to solve the entire problem, but it's a mixture of multiple solutions. It can be like EVs, it can be hybrids, it can be CNGs, biofuels, ethanol blends. So it's and hydrogens as AHODS has presented. So it's multiple solutions that can go hand in hand in achieving our common goal towards sustainable mobility. And we as a company have been almost like a focused R&D of over 9 years in developing multiple hybrid drivetrains. So we have multiple patented technologies with respect to the hybrid drivetrains and their vehicle architectures. And apart from hybrid drivetrains, we are also working on EV control systems as well. So our mission is basically to be a global leader in technology-driven e-drivetrain solutions, somewhat similar to how a Bosch or Value has been. We want to be aspire to someone be a Bosch. And since Bosch is in the panel, what right time where I can pitch the same thing. So our mission is to be a global leader in terms of sustainable mobility, developing various technological drivetrain solutions and its associated platform solutions. Our journey basically began in 2014, wherein we, four college graduates, it's a team of four college students who started together. So our first concept was a hybrid two-wheeler, which you saw in the opening slide. So the hybrid two-wheeler was built by us as a part of our UG thesis program. So based on its novelty, we got incubated at NIT Trichy, and we received funding from Department of Science and Technology. And with that, we started our entrepreneurial journey. And in 2014, we received the CII Best Startup Award. And from there on, it's been completely bootstrapped. So we did our first two-wheeler prototyping from 2014 to 2018, which we showcased to many of the two-wheeler OEMs in India. And we backed our first business in 2019, wherein we jointly started working with a leading two-wheeler manufacturer in developing a hybrid motorcycle on their platform. And in 2021, we received our first round of investment from the Chennai Angels and the Kairitsu Forum. And thereafter, we started diversifying our portfolio from not just being a hybrid two-wheeler company, but also developing hybrid drivetrains for three-wheelers and four-wheelers. And parallelly, we also started working on electric drivetrains, also building vehicle control units and motor control units for EV ecosystem. So today we are scaling up with working with multiple OEMs and integrating our hybrid drivetrains and our EV drivetrains together into their product portfolio. So as I said, like when it comes to our hybrid electric vehicles, so we have three different hybrid architectures: a series hybrid, a parallel hybrid, and a series parallel hybrid. So depending upon the use case, we recommend which hybrid architecture to go with. So for example, if you see a case of a two-wheeler, we go for a parallel hybrid drivetrain. if it's a cargo vehicle, we recommend to go for a series hybrid. So depending upon which technology is suitable for which platform, we have multiple solutions that can be integrated into the solutions. And our hybrid solutions almost increase the fuel efficiency by 80%. And since it's a combination of your ICE and your electric, the initial torque and load bearing capacity of the electric advantages also comes into play. We have reduced the emissions. It's a scalable architecture. All you need to do is, if I scale, let's say for example, I have built a 150cc motorcycle, and if I need to adapt the same technology onto a 200cc motorcycle, it's just that I need to scale my architecture. uh, I just need to scale my sizing of the components in order to increase this thing. It's an easier, and it's a cost effective, and no external charging is required. So let me give you a case scenario of the hybrid drivetrain which I have built for a two-wheeler. So here you can see the electric motor that's directly integrated into the engine. So it's not like I have a hub motor in the back and the engine driving the front and I call it a hybrid drivetrain. It's like a proper strong hybrid technology wherein the motor is directly coupled into the engine itself, and the entire system works like a single integrated unit. And the main advantage of this system is whenever the independent systems can work independently. Like for example, the motor can act as an independent prime mover to drive the vehicle, the engine can act as an independent prime mover, and there are times wherein like both can work together in a synchronized manner. And as I said, this is a prototype, and based on our testing results at the JRC test center, which is based out of Chennai, we have recorded an increase in fuel efficiency of 70%. A vehicle which was given 67 kmpl, we made it 160 kmpl. An increased performance of almost 40% in terms of vehicle acceleration, 9.74 to 5.5 seconds, and again GHG emissions also reduction. So yeah, so this is something that we have developed. So everyone, when they talk about hybrid drivetrains on a two-wheeler or a three-wheeler per se, like we have witnessed hybrids on a four-wheeler in cars, but when you come to a two-wheeler or three-wheeler, everyone says it's a complex technology. Packaging on a two-wheeler footprint is too difficult. So we have managed to package it on a two-wheeler with less increase in weight, and the cost increase also kept at a minimum of 20%. And when I do a complete ROI TCO comparison with the petrol, EV, and hybrid, we are almost reducing the operating cost by almost like 50%, and the overall TCO calculations is almost on par with an EV. And here we are eliminating external charging. The requirement of charging infrastructure doesn't come into play. So yeah, so apart from our hybrids, there's another line of products that we are offering for is battery electric vehicles, which is the vehicle control unit and the motor control unit. So what we saw previously when we were developing our hybrid drivetrains, we had the requirement of having a motor controller which had to work in synchronized with the engine. So we needed to have CAN-based smart motor control units and vehicle control units to like have our hybrid drivetrains working efficiently. But what we saw was, and even today, like the smart motor controllers or vehicle controllers are not available in plenty. And for our initial hybrid prototyping, we had to import certain components from Europe, and it costed like anything. So then we started developing smart motor controllers and vehicle control units, and we are working on several platforms. First, the e-cycle market, which is up to the 500 watts, the e-rickshaw, e-two-wheelers, then the L5 category and ACVs. So the first two platforms are like we are already in production. The other three are work in progress currently. So let me share you again a similar case scenario of the 500 watt motor controller that we have developed. So what we have done over here, what's unique is about the solution that we have built over here. It's not like a product solution, but as a platform solution. So here, the same motor controller can be integrated into multiple solutions. All I have to do is we have built the software as a stack, and we just need to modify the software, and it can go into any application, be it an e-cycle, be it an low-speed moped, be it an AGV or industrial mobility, a foot scooter, or an agricultural equipment. So we have been working with multiple OEMs in each segment. Almost, I would be proud to say, almost like 2 companies in each segment currently, wherein our controllers are deployed. So our clients, it's a mixture of both the startups and the big OEMs. We are working together in deploying our both the motor control units and our hybrid drivetrains. So we are working with leading companies like TVS, Hero, Atul, Ashok Leyland, and also TI, and some startups like Bentley, Swark, Enigma, two-wheelers. Yeah. So our business model is basically we do two activities. First is the vehicle integration, wherein we work with the OEMs in integrating our solutions, be it the motor control unit, vehicle control unit, or our hybrid drivetrains. We work with the OEMs together, integrate our solution, and demonstrate a ready-to-manufacture solution. And then once everything is done, then we go into the control systems. In hybrid drivetrains, we have the motor control unit and the hybrid control unit. So hybrid control unit, which acts as the brain and decides when which should work, the engine or the motor, which should power. And in EVs, the vehicle control unit and the motor control unit, we manufacture and supply those components on a build to. Currently, it's outsourced. The manufacturing is outsourced, done on a build to print basis by our EMS manufacturers. But on the longer run, we plan to have those in house as well. So with this, I come to the end of the presentation.
On time, Adarsh. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions, any queries for Adarsh before we wrap up today's session? Anything?
Adarsh, at what stage you are right now?
So currently, we are working with multiple OEMs in integrating our solutions. As I said, so we are working with some leading OEMs in integrating our solutions into their platform, and all our products are currently in R&D phase. Our hybrid drivetrains are in R&D phase.
So certifications and all are pending?
So certification, as in the certification has to go in as a complete vehicle, so which is handled by these OEMs themselves. So we aren't involved directly in the certification. We act as technology integrators, like system integrators. We work with the OEMs in integrating our system. So then after that, it's the vehicle that goes into the certification. So it's not like a retrofit kit.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any closing remarks from our speakers? Vivek, Srikant, Jasmer, anyone? Aditya. This is an open field. Anyone can come and pitch in. Any closing remarks?
So yes, we greatly thank Sanjeev San and Naman. So both of you have done an extraordinary job. So this is the first time that we are interacting in a NASCOM-based platform. We have interacted earlier in other platforms, but yes, since auto is our DNA, so we love it, and we look forward for much discussion like this in coming days. Thank you very much.
Likewise. Jasmer, we see you on the screen. You have to say something now.
No, I think we are on the same page. But yeah, I really appreciate the startups who are there coming with a very innovative solution. Even the one of is already engaged with us, so we are looking forward how we can collaborate with others also.
100% looking forward. So we have just witnessed, a miracle of modern transportation. And the funny thing was, half of our speakers were probably still in their cars, navigating traffic. So a standing ovation for all their dedication to sustainability, even if that meant burning a little extra, carbon footprint. On that note, we'll also, promise to schedule our next session during off-peak hours. But seriously, the insights and energy we have shared today have been electric, and let's keep the momentum going and turn these ideas into reality. The future looks very bright, and thanks to all of you, we have heard some great ideas today, stuff that would make even Elon Musk jealous, or at least really impressed, I would say, if not jealous. A huge shout out to our speakers, our amazing startups, and a round of applause to our amazing audience. We have got a community of like-minded folks just waiting to be connected through the Open Innovator platform. I'll say, remember, it's not a goodbye, it's see you later. So we have got more mind-blowing stuff planned, probably on Gen AI later. So stay tuned. Our next session is scheduled for 4th of September on Gen AI. Until then, keep dreaming big, keep innovating, and most importantly, keep the planet green. Thank you for being part of this amazing journey. Have a great evening. Thank you. We'll connect again later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.